dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Mr. Mayor, are you downtown this morning?
No, I wish I was.
That's a sharp. I love that background. That is really, really tight. I like that a lot.
It's I took it last year when the new mural went up there on the side of the building, and this is kind of the view you get if you're standing in the lot where the Mellow Cream Donut is and the Lincoln letter. So, yeah, very cool.
That's
and
nice.
It's got Route 66 there. So
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you, I know I told you let's start with 5th Street, but let's start with Route 66. Sure. And of course, a big year for Route 66 this year. And just a lot of things going on for Lincoln on that front. What's the latest and what do we know?
Yeah, so we've been doing a really good job of preparing for the centennial celebration and tourism. As you know, we've talked about that in the past, about the city taking over at least the city tourism initiatives. And so a lot of good stuff going on. We got a $411,000 grant through the Logan County Tourism Bureau and Illinois Tourism. So we're putting that to good use at the museum. Going to have some more attractions. We're getting a 12-foot copper penny, like the donut. And we're shooting for that May 1st opening of the museum. So a lot of good stuff going on.
There you go. Nice. The museum, I know that's long been in the works, and you said May 1st, kind of the target. Are we going to make that?
I think we're going to make it. Obviously, the museum will never really be completely done. But I think the attractions that Mr. McCoy is building out inside of there will be a really, really good start. I mean, they really include just giving you kind of some feelers. Obviously, the train exhibit we've talked about, the Route 66 experience across all 8 states with John Roo's train exhibit. We're going to have sort of a glimpse into what the workshop looks like for the guy who creates all of the giants that you see throughout the country in Route 66, Mark Klein, and maybe a sneak peek of a phone booth exhibit. We're going to touch and feel on, the Al Capone aspect and his relation to the city of Lincoln. We're trying to hit a lot of things in there. I think it'll be really good.
And if I'm not mistaken, also going to be once the museum is established, also going to be kind of an economic development component to that building. Am I correct on that?
It really is. We do have an economic development center, and we have people that are at least operating out of there now, and we have people using the conference room. We're working on our first occupants of our incubator space, and that's pretty exciting. So a lot going on, and you're right. Route 66, it's about economic development as well. We want to get people into Lincoln and get them to stop. We also want them to, in addition to seeing the museum, visit our businesses, our shops, get out and look at the other attractions, meet people. I mean, there's a lot to do in Lincoln.
Yeah, sure. In this journey, Mr. Mayor, I wonder if you feel you've done a better job of marketing Lincoln and the things that should attract people to the city and those sorts of things, the restaurants, the shops, the historical markers, those sorts of things.
Yeah, I'd say some of it was done with clear intent. Other pieces of it were just a fortunate circumstance of us taking over tourism. But regardless, I can tell you that a lot of people in Lincoln are really excited. When we started talking about the museum and people started seeing activity over there, we had a lot of people reaching out, stopping by the building. Just saw a video the other day of tourists that are stopping at the building, trying to look in. They're curious as to what's going on. So, the word's out in Lincoln, Logan County, but the word is out on Route 66 as well.
Going to be a big year, and one thing I came to learn about Route 66 is I never really knew how much international like traffic it got. People from overseas coming to Route 66 just for Route 66. I never realized it until I was in Atlanta one day. And there was actually a bus of tourists that just dropped off right in downtown. I was driving through, and just a bus of people just dropped off right in the downtown area. Had no idea. That's Lincoln definitely needs to tap into that, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think that goes to working with Logan County tourism and the communities around us. Um, there's other Route 66 components, not just here in Lincoln, but throughout the county, and we should all be working together to really put our best foot forward for each other and make a good experience for those people that are coming in and traveling Route 66, not just people here in the United States, but you're right. A lot of people fly into Chicago, they start their journey there, and they end up at Santa Monica Pier out there in California. And I'm on some of those groups, those planning groups, and it's really interesting to watch people talk about their pit stops. Now, I'm obviously out there. I'm like, hey, if you're going down Route 66, we got a new museum opening up. Would love to have you stop in Lincoln. So, we're doing everything we can to get people here.
No question. Very good. Well, looking forward to a good year there in a good summer season, I guess I should say, in Lincoln for the Route 66 celebration. A lot of good things to come. Are you going to have like special events around Route 66 at all this year, Mr. Mayor? I know we've got the America 250th and all those things I'm sure you're planning for. But how about that? Anything special planned for Route 66 in Lincoln?
Well, from the city's perspective, we talked about this earlier about having a lot of irons in the fire, and we do. And so the museum and the economic development incubator and things, those are things that we're doing. But we're also encouraging people throughout the community to get involved. Like one of the examples is there's an old gas station down on 5th Street, and they have a Route 66 mural. Mr. Richard owns that. And we're doing what we can to help him as part of the grant money to redo that mural so people will stop in. So we're doing our part to partner with other people. But to your point, with the 250th year celebration going on, we're planning like a 4th of July parade. Just was approached yesterday about doing maybe a celebration downtown, get a band, block some roads off, stuff. So yeah, a lot of things going on.
Cool, nice, very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us here this morning. Good grief, Mr. Mayor. I wish it was Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
we'd be getting close to quitting time.
Well, just hang in there. You're close.
Yeah, right. At any rate, I tell you, let's dive into 5th Street. This is where we were gonna start the conversation today, Mr. Mayor. 5th Street, and man, I feel like I have talked about this from you to Mayor Snyder to Mayor Neitzel to Mayor Goodman to Mayor, I don't even know how long we've been talking about this. Yeah. We're finally going to get some dirt moving on this project, sir. What is going on?
Yeah, finally. The project that initially started in 1998 is finally going to see some shovels in the ground.
So tell us what's going on here. What are we planning on, and what's the project going to look like?
Excuse me. It's gone through some evolutions, obviously due to timing and costs. The project back in 98 wouldn't have cost as much as it does today. Actually, the council just this week approved an increase in the cost for an additional $2.25 million. So the city's portion of this project is well over $8 million. But it's going to resurface that road out there, widen it out a little bit in the shoulders. And we're going to do some drainage things, I guess, some stuff to address poor drainage out there. There will be like a dirt path for a bike path, but it won't be paved yet. Again, the unfortunate part of trying to take a look at the fact that things are going up in price and reducing costs wherever we can. The council a couple of years ago thought that was a compromise to at least keep it moving. And so you're right. A lot of mayors, a lot of councils, a lot of people at the engineering firms that we work with. It's taken dozens and dozens and dozens of people to get it to this point, but finally we're going to see some movement.
not to cast stones or cast shade at anybody. That's not the point of this. I'm just curious, what was the holdup? And honestly, I'm trying to jog my memory and remember what was the holdup with this project, and how much do you think you sunk into this, over these darn near 30 years to get to this point?
Well, my understanding, some of this historical stuff I wasn't here for. And quite honestly, it started so long ago, I wasn't even interested in politics back then. But I think a lot of it is the project itself was started with good intentions. They wanted to build out that corridor. They think there can be some industrial growth out there. There's already residential growth that's taking place out there.
Well, and honestly, it's
And
needed it
so
too, like that road is really, really in rough shape.
it's terrible. If you want to test the durability of your car, just take a ride down that road.
Yes,
Um,
right.
and we have had plenty of residents share that exact sentiment. They're like, you guys have got to get this road going. It's terrible. Now, there are some council members that said we should have gone in a long time ago and just done a nice repaving and been done. We could have saved a bunch of money. Given the decisions that had been made, we really had no choice but to move forward. But I think it's taken so long because they had to get the project off the ground. They had to secure the funding sources we did, talk with the county, do the design work. They had to acquire a bunch of parcels we did out there to widen the road out. And then the politics side of it is it was a priority for some administrations in the past, not a priority for others. And so those that made it a priority, we picked it up and ran with it, and we're going to get it across the finish line. But that's my opinion on what happened. Um, I knew when I came on council, this was a priority then, and I just want to see it through. The people out there, they just deserve it. And quite honestly, I think it is a great opportunity for the city. And I think if we create that new resurfaced area out there, that it could possibly entice more industrial growth out in that area. We will see.
So is this a phased plan then, where like you talked about that walking bike path, where like you would come back in later and maybe fill that in with pavement, and then maybe just kind of phase in what you had planned, maybe even 3-4 years ago? Is that an option, you think, or is this just going to be, it is what it is right now, and no plans on changing it in the future?
I will say that it's taken us so long and it's been such a painful process to get to this point that we just want to get it done in its current design. Now, I do believe that we could go back and start to gradually pave that bike path. We've been talking about connecting bike paths between McLean and Sangamon County as long as I've been up at City Hall. And I think that's an opportunity. Plus, that road needs a path for people that live out there to get into town. It's kind of narrow right now. It's dangerous. And knock on wood, we haven't had any fatalities out there, but it's ripe for something bad to happen. I think we'll go back and do it, but right now we've got this going. We've got the pavilion, which is $350,000+. We got the museum going on. We have another project, an infrastructure project that's probably going to run us about $2 million. So the treasurer is getting a little nervous with all of the spending going on, but it's money being put to good use.
Yeah, as our treasurers to worry about these things, right? So that's what they're there for, to worry about the spending, and that's probably a good thing. Very good. On that note, Mr. Mayor, did I miss anything on Fifth Street and what you're doing and the plans and all that stuff?
No, I just say stay tuned. It'll be a multi-year project, probably 2 years.
So will that be something? And I just thought of this, so sorry about that. With like dirt starting to move in like April-ish, will this be something that goes on all the way through the summer and then the winter, and like will work just be continuous, or will there be stoppages at points, and like it'll open up and it won't be one lane and those sorts of things? How will that look?
Well, there's obviously going to be some traffic control. We can reroute people down Conley Road that need to get into town.
Sure.
To your point, change brings inconvenience, and inconvenience sometimes is frustrating, but it's an unfortunate part of growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hope the people that have been asking for this will be patient with us out there.
Sure.
We'll work with everybody to make sure that it is as painless as possible, but it's a 2-year project. Our intention is, as long as the weather is nice and doesn't hinder progress, we want them to keep moving. Obviously, we know we'll have some delays, but we'd like to get it done as soon as possible.
So it's not going to stretch all the way to Conley Road then?
It's going to go beyond Conley Road. The county has a portion with this too. They've chipped in a substantial amount of money for this project. So yeah, we're going to go almost all the way out to the overpass.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. Very good. Okay, Mr. Mayor, now we can take a break. We'll take a break and rejoin Mr. Lincoln Mayor, Tracy Welch, our guest here on the Zoom today. More to come with the mayor on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD radio network. I'm Jim Taylor. Lower across the board with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. May corn down 4 1/4, 465.5. July corn down 3 1/2, 476.5. And new crop December 491 1/4, down 3 1/4. May beans down a nickel, 1163.5. July beans down 4 1/4, 1179. And new crop November 1142 3/4, down 3 1/2. May Chicago wheat down 6 1/2, 601.5. May KC wheat 613 3/4, down 13 1/2. May bean meal 330.60, down $2. May bean oil up 31 cents, 65.72. Livestock trade March feeders 356.42, up $1.15. April live cattle down 70 cents, 232.57. April lean hogs 92.02, down 2 cents. Energy market June Brent crude oil 104.57, up 78 cents. RFD Radio Network.
Paul Skowron here, CEO of Warner Hospital. Spring allergies acting up? At Warner Hospital and Health Services, we offer fast treatment to help you breathe easier and feel better fast. Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, with us. Mr. Mayor, I know with America 250th, we've got, of course, some annual events in Lincoln coming up this summer and this spring. By the way, when does Third Thursday begin in Lincoln?
Oh, the Friday thing? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Third Friday. Excuse me.
Yeah, we do May, June, and July. So the third Friday in May.
Oh, okay.
We'll be kicking off. Actually just had a committee meeting this week. I had a conflict. I wasn't able to attend, but they made good progress. Yeah, very exciting things.
Cool.
Looking forward to another season of that.
Word. Very good. Very good. Well, what else is coming up in Lincoln on the calendar in the months and weeks and whatever ahead?
Well, there's always there's ribbon cuts that happen, which is a really good sign for the community. It means we get new businesses, a lot of sporting activities. Things are going to get ramped up there.
By the way, can I ask something real fast?
Yeah.
I know the rec center, and this has been years and years ago, so I'm really, really late to the party. But how much of an economic boom has that rec center and all the ball fields they've added out there? How much has that helped the community, you think?
Well, I think it certainly helps number one, it helps them offer more events and summer activities for the community and the surrounding communities. But it's also a great place when other people want to use it. So, for instance, like the Save Logan initiative, Department of Corrections does a tournament, and I think they move it around, but they had that out there. From a basketball perspective, the John Welsh tournament was going on, and that housed some of the basketball games and stuff. So, I mean, it's a great asset for the community. It's going to be getting warmer here. The pool's going to be opening up. So, yeah, I mean, it's truly a good asset for the community.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears on the weather warming up.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Right, exactly. It's exactly what I'm doing. All right, Mr. Mayor, I cut you off, sir. I'm so sorry. You were talking about things coming up in Lincoln, and like I said, I cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, last thing I was gonna say was obviously the Balloon Festival and the Up in Smoke Barbecue Festival. One of the exciting things this year is that Rail Splitter has decided to move to the same weekend as the Balloon Festival.
Oh, wow, cool.
So yeah, being a standalone event, I think it was presenting some challenges for the organization. And I think they're really trying to bring some more awareness to an event that was really popular in years past. And I think they're trying to revive that. So on that weekend, it'll just give people one more thing to do when balloons aren't flying.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Exactly. And it falls not that far after the Up in Smoke competition or those events of that weekend anyway. So, kind of makes sense to just lump it in with the crowd that's here for those. So yeah, cool.
Yeah,
good.
I agree. I think good move.
Definitely. Anything else going on in Lincoln, Mr. Mayor, you want to highlight for us this morning?
Oh, there's always things going on.
I got about a minute. What do you got for us?
Well, just a lot of infrastructure projects and things like that going on. The weather is warming up, and that means people are getting out doing fundraisers. And like there's one uptown at J&M Meat Markets today. They're doing a fundraiser for the Veterans Commission, the CIVC that builds tiny homes, that type of stuff. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely. I know there was much more you wanted to get to. The dog park, that's finished now, is it not?
Dog park is finished. We're just maintaining on that same lot the community pavilion that we got approved. They're going to start breaking ground on it too, and it's supposed to be up by mid-August, early September.
Okay, sure.
So we got Fifth Street, the pavilion, the museum. We got all these things going on. It's really good for Lincoln.
It is, Mr. Mayor. Always good to hear about it. We appreciate you making time for us. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way.
WHOW.